feel like it's been ages since I've been back out properly. I've done like a walk of the Tyne from time after Hexham, but that's like mainly just walking on normal paths. So today I've come to Ladycross. There's a bit of story why I'm here, but they've just opened like a cafe area here, and they're like really opening it up. They're gonna do like tours of like the nature reserve that they have and the quarry, and they're going to do some events with the quarry. And they've got a foraging going on the other side of Slady Forest at the moment, and apparently there's a trail as well, so I'm going to go and check out that trail. Obviously not today because I'm parked here and the trail's on the other side of the forest, but I've been told it's really good, so I'm going to give that a go as well. So like today I was going to head to Chatton and try and pick up the Grand Tour, because I've got 2 episodes of the Grand Tour that still need to be edited, and that's from like last year in June. I've had so much on. So this video really is, well, I wanted to get out for starters, but this video is really just to tell you what's been happening and reason why the channel's been very quiet recently. So I'm going to head up onto the moors because I'm desperate to get out onto the moors. I love the wide open spaces. There's quite a bit going on here actually with the quarrying. This wasn't here the last time I was here. You see that? So I can get a bit closer. You see how like that stone there is like a bit flattish. It's like it breaks off into like slabs. That's what's used on the roofs of like when you go into Blanchland and they've got all the stone roofs. That's the stone that they used. That's the reason why we came here on the Grand Tour, to be honest. Let's straight ahead. Zoom. So yeah, so I'm going to head up onto the moors. I'm going to switch the camera off for now, and then once I'm on the moors, if it's not too windy, because it is a little bit windy today, then I'll give you an update on the channel. I've missed the best of the heather, but there's still little pockets. See, this would have been all once purple. Never mind. See it plenty of times, to be honest, and so it's next year. I was talking to the nice lady at the quarry. She works there, and she was telling me that they might have pine martens in Slady Forest now. They're not 100% sure, but they've seen signs and tracks, but they haven't got a confirmed sighting yet. They've still got red squirrels, although the greys have moved in, so it's kind of a little bit of a battle between the greys and reds at the moment in the forest. So this is like up the base rock on the track. As you can see, it's like in layers, a bit like slate almost. That's the reason why the quarry in it. That's why it makes good roofing material. There we go. This is what I needed. Wide open spaces and 360 degrees of almost desolation. You can see Cheviot and Hedge up over there on the horizon. Possibly not on this camera. That's Warlaw over there. It's a trig point on the top. It's not a significant top. This is the path to Blanchland. Fantastic. Oh, it's nice to be out in the fresh air. Really needed to get out this weekend and very nearly didn't come. So glad I did. So what's been happening with the channel? Good question. Well, to be honest, the main reason why I haven't been so active on the YouTube channel is just time more than anything else. I started the YouTube channel when we started the Grand Tour I was unemployed, didn't have a job, so while I was still doing work search activities, I could do those in the evening and in the night, you know, and then I could use the daytime for getting out, doing walks, editing videos and stuff like that, or I could edit the videos at night, and I had a lot more time and flexibility on my time, I should say. Not more time, because there's only 24 hours in a day, isn't there? But I had more flexibility when I did what. And now I don't have that because I'm working full time. I try to keep up with it, with the hiking and the video editing and stuff like that. But then I found myself initially working weekends for extra money. But then it was like I was doing a very, very lot of overtime. And I was like, to be honest, I was getting told off by my line manager for working too many hours. I got involved in a lot of voluntary activities, so like diversity, inclusion, well-being and all that kind of thing, mental health, how to deal with suicide ideation, all those sort of things. Well, I have quite a bit of practical experience about. I involved myself with at work. That meant like doing a lot excuse me, that meant doing a lot of voluntary activity, which meant I was like doing my normal day job, because I still have to put my hours in, do my job. But then after I finished my job, I was working from home as well, made it a lot easier. I would finish my job at 5, have a little break, get my dinner, and then I'll go back to work at 7, and I'll be working until about 11 midnight on like various projects like diversity, inclusion, well-being, etc., which I just said. I just meant that I didn't have time to do any editing. As it so happens, now we're not working at home, moved back into the office, and now my time is very, very strictly managed. So basically I'm doing like 9 to 5, but because I'm on public transport, it means that my hours are very strict within my contracted hours. There's not a lot of give, not a lot of leeway. Sometimes I might have to work a little bit late on the night time and I miss my train and get the next one. But mostly I'm working approximately 9 to 5, simply because of public transport hours. So you think I would have a lot more time, wouldn't you? The trouble is that working back in the office costs a lot more money than working from home. So it cost me about £120 a month for a travel pass. Well, before I didn't have that expense. Adding a lot of other expenses, like the price of petrol going up, the price of food going up, wages staying static. Oh, some nice grouse there. Plus I have to pay for my own healthcare, so I have to pay for private healthcare because of discrimination in the NHS. So basically on the NHS I've been waiting over 4 years for a first appointment, not treatment, first initial appointment. And if I get that appointment, then there'll be another 4-year wait for the second appointment before treatment begins. And I couldn't afford to wait that long. So, I mean, I was suffering from suicidal ideation, which is one of the reasons why I took up hiking in the first place. Don't now, because I get private healthcare instead. But that private healthcare comes at a cost. It costs a good part of my wages. So basically, that's the main reason, is initially because of time, and secondly because now that I have got the time, because I've gone back in the office. I've only been back in the office since July, because I had COVID in June. That didn't help. But the best time to go hiking, because you got the daylight hours. So yeah, that's where we're at really. It's just a mixture of time and cost. Like today I wanted to go up to Chatton to at least try and do part of the Grand Tour, because I'm stuck at Chatton. And I'm stuck at Chatton for another reason. That's because I don't have the fitness anymore to do there and back to the car for half the walk, and then there and back to the car the other half of the walk, because it's like a 13-mile hike for the next section that I'm stuck on. And I just don't have the physical strength anymore to do that, for two reasons. A, because of lockdown, didn't get out as much. I've lost a lot of fitness because I haven't been out walking as much because I've been doing all the extra work. And one of the downsides of HRT, don't believe what you read in the newspapers because it's a load of rubbish. HRT has just sapped my strength like you would not believe. Like seriously weakened me. It's good because it's improved my mental health like you would not believe. But in terms of physical strength, I'm not as strong as what I was, I'm not as fit as what I was, and I can't do a 12-mile hike across rough ground where there's very little paths through heather, trying to find a stone circle that's not on any maps, and a Bronze Age grave, which is part of the section which I'm talking about near Chatton. I just don't have the strength to do that at this moment in time, so I'm trying to build up my strength again. So I'm just like doing like walks like I am today, from Ladycross to Blanchland and back, and it's quite close to home as well, so I don't have to spend as much on fuel, and it's something that I can afford to do, something that will help get my fitness back and slowly build up. So I'm probably, realistically, unless somebody out there who wants to do the Grand Tour with me, car to car, and bear in mind there'll be a lot of stops and starts because I'll be filming and stuff, and I'll be like saying like, you're in camera shot, get out the way, that kind of thing, or shh, be quiet, I'm talking. I'm not very nice when I'm busy filming, but when I'm not filming I think I'm alright. But yeah, unless someone wants to do that with me, I'm kind of stuck at Chatton until I can get my fitness back. So realistically we're talking next year before I continue the Grand Tour, although I will try and get those 2 sections which I've already done, I'll try and get those edited and up. One, we get to meet M's Adventure, so that'll be good. I've got motorbikes on the track. Yeah, before I used to like to walk and talk with my back to the wind to protect the mic, but it blows my hair into my face, makes it difficult. I'm trying to twist around at the moment. Yeah, this track's shared with motorbikes, so you've got to be a bit careful, but only at certain times of the year. So yeah, that's where the channel's at. It's not that I'm not getting out as much. I mean, I've got bits of footage from, nothing concrete, but I've got little bits of footage from when I've walked the Tyne. I led an LGBT walk from Tynemouth to Hexham. This is where the Tyne splits, so it's like the main part of the River Tyne. We couldn't go any further because again we were limited by transport, because I mean I've got a car, but you kind of need to do car to car because the public transport's not that reliable once you get past Hexham, especially on the North Tyne. So we just walked to the Hexham where it joins. But yeah, that's really because when I designed the Grand Tour of Northumberland, it was designed for car to car. It was designed with me and Neil. Basically, that was what was in mind. And unfortunately, it makes it a bit difficult when it's just myself doing it. So we'll try and get onto it when I can. Did I just use a plural we to describe myself? It's me and the audience, me and you who's watching the video. That's when I say we, that's what I mean. This is a beautiful place, so I'll show you around instead of me just gabbing on about nothing. How nice is that? Might get a little bit nicer on the other side of the rise. I might be able to see along this valley along here. I still work at the charity, so I'm still doing charity work as well. That was another reason why the hiking stopped last year, to be honest. I had a lot of people to help in July and August, and beginning of September. So 2021, July, August, it was like every single week I was helping someone with suicide ideation. That took a lot of my time, including weekends. And then, so that was all charity work on top of my full-time job. And then in September, I was sexually assaulted, really. I wasn't raped, but I was pinned down and groped and what have you. And someone intervened on that, thankfully on my behalf, but it realised that I didn't have the strength that I thought I had, and that made me feel very vulnerable, and that took a little while for me to get over as well. Had to get some help to help me get over that. As I said, it was just mainly that beforehand I was kind of a bit confident, a little bit cocky, to be honest, because I used to do contact karate when I was in my 20s, and I always just thought I could defend myself, and then suddenly I realised I'm in a position where I realise that I can't defend myself anymore. Part of that's the HRT, part of that's age. It's a bit of both. But it made me realise my vulnerabilities, and I had to come to terms with that, so that was quite difficult and hard. And that took me a good couple of months to, I wouldn't say get over it, because I don't think you ever do, but to adjust to the fact that I can't defend myself anymore. So that was a difficult period. And then obviously we're into Christmas time, and then the winter months, and then I was applying for jobs all the time because my contract ran out. So I had to try and get a new contract. I had to apply for my old job again, and I didn't really find out any job security until June this year. That's when I got given a permanent contract. So we're now in September 2022, and the last, I would say, real proper hike I did was in June 2021. But obviously I've been walking the time, but that's basically walking on paths, you know. A large part of it was I walked through Newcastle. I call that walking as opposed to hiking. But it was still enjoyable. It was still nice to get out and try and keep a little bit of fitness, but that was just once a month. I filmed it, but a large part of it is going over old ground in the Grand Tour, episode 1 and episode 2 as well. That took us up to Hexham, didn't it? In any case, we're coming towards Blanchland soon. How magnificent is that? It's lovely to be outside, in the open air with big wide views. I really must make more effort to get out, because I really enjoy it when I am. Especially places like this. I've missed like most of the best part of the season of being on the moors. Missed all the heather, missed the curlews. Never mind. As I said, there's always next year. But, I was debating where to go today. I literally just left the house quite late on. Actually, I left the house at lunchtime. Because I thought, right, I really just need to get out. and do something. So I just got in the car and just headed off, and I was like, no idea where I was going, but I knew I had to stay reasonably local. So I was looking at somewhere in southeast Northumberland, and I was thinking, oh, should I go to Hadrian's Wall, go and see that monstrosity that they've gone and built, a modern art thing at Housesteads? Not that I've got anything against the modern art structure that's built, I just think that it shouldn't have been at Housesteads. It should maybe have been at Chester's Fort instead. More people could have gone and seen it at Chester's Fort because it'd be more accessible. That's one reason. But it's just something like that is good, don't get me wrong. I think it's fantastic that someone's made that. I think it's a Roman gate with modern art and stuff on it. It's magnificent, but at Housesteads it's like a blot on the landscape. It's like on the rise, you know. It's just like, you know, can you not like put it somewhere where it's not going to, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to do that, maybe that's what it's there for, but for me it's just out of place. It's great, just not in the wrong place. It's like graffiti, you know. I really like street art. I really like seeing graffiti, to like, as long as it's not just tags. Like tags, it's just like anyone can do a tag. As long as there's some like effort into it, you know. But in the appropriate place, you know. Like if it's like on a concrete underpass or something like that, you know, where it enhances the concrete, if you get what I mean. But like doing something like that on like a stone circle or an ancient monument, definitely no. You know, it's just like things have a place, and for me, Housesteads, that wasn't the place for that structure. But never mind. Hey guys, I just had a nice little chat with the guy on the motorbike up there. I'm realising that this video is just going to be me, a monologue of Lee, isn't it? But yeah, the guy on the motorbike, he had stopped at the top of the hill. He was debating whether to come down to Blanchard, and he decided not to. He's turned around and gone back towards Slurley Way. But he's from Allendale, and yeah, nice book. We had a good chat about how like getting out into the open air and stuff really helps improve your mental health and well-being. So it was quite good chat. Very interesting person. Been meeting a couple of people today, like the lady at the quarry and now the guy on the motorbike. So you get out, and even in the middle of nowhere you can find people to talk to. Because I never shut up. At least not now. I mean, before I used to sit in the corner. There's a pheasant. It's a hen pheasant. Yeah, I used to sit in the corner all huddled up, and now you can't get me to shut up. To be fair, I've got the ideal job because I spend all day talking to people. It's good. That's what I like. So I'm at Penny Pie House, and as you can see, the stone on the roof is from Ladycross Quarry. I was going to head down to Blanchland, but it takes me away from the moors. And what I'm thinking of instead is like head back up and cut across the moors and head to the Carrier's Way, where the lead part of the lead road even. And then head back to Slurley Forest along the Carrier's Way. I think that might be a more enjoyable walk than just walking down into Blanchard and then walking back up the hill again. You know, make it a bit of a circular instead of a there and back walk. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head back up and pick up the path that takes me across to the Carrier's Way, across the moors, and then come back to Slurley Forest on the Carrier's Way. There we go, we're going to take this one, Birdshield Hoff, 1 3/4 miles. That's the road back to Slurley Forest. So we're going to cut across there, and then we're going to come back along behind Warlaw. So I showed you Warlaw before, we're going to go on the other side of Warlaw. So yeah, so basically we're busy walking around Warlaw today. this path I'm on now is not as obvious as the main tracks I've been walking on, which is all good. Get me back into practice, get my fitness back up again. Doing a bit of cross-country walking. In years to come, thousands of years from now, I wonder what archaeologists will think of grouse butts. Mini roundhouses that were always built in a line. So over there, the prominent hill on the horizon, that'll be Killip Law. I was actually debating whether to do Killip Law today actually, but it's still a bit far to go to Allendale, to be honest. Even though it is southeast Northumberland. Well, it's coming to Ladycross, you know, it's only a few minutes drive from where I live. It's not far at all. So basically it's just south of Slately. It's just a bit south of between Hexham and Corbridge. So it's not far at all for me. This is like on my doorstep, so might as well come and make use of the place, yeah. I've got the place all to myself now, there's nobody here. Like on the route between Ladycross and Blanchland, you'll often meet people, but like these little paths across the moors, you tend not to meet that many people on them, to be honest. So you get a bit of peace, quiet and solitude. So I like talking to people, just like I'm talking to the camera. But also I like to be by myself for a little bit. Gives me a chance to be alone in my own thoughts. That's always a nice thing to do. Really stunning. I'm so glad I came out. You just come along this wall. To be honest, you can go on either side of the wall. I crossed over onto this side because the path was a little bit easier to walk on, because I haven't got gaiters with me. Got the old shooter's hut up there on the Carrier's Way. Oh, look at this. What a magnificent view, eh? Beautiful. Got Windy Gyle over there. And I got Killip Law over there. Stunning, beautiful. So glad I came out. Did I say that? Oh my god. Look at that. So beautiful. There's the Carrier's Way just here. So I'll pick up the Carrier's Way, follow that back. The Carrier's Way ends up being part of the lead road. In fact, eventually goes to Bladen. Connects Killip Law, the lead mine there, with the Killip lead mine, I should say. Killip Law's the hill. So just the other side of the hill. So it goes over the edge of Killip Law. And then it goes all the way to Bladen, where they smelted the silver out of the lead at Bladen before it went off all over the world. Most of it's now tarmac and a road, like a proper road. But But this was once the lead carrierway, which I'm about to go on now. So where that gate is, on that post. So this is where the pack ponies used to go with the lead, along this road here. I'm going to follow this back to Slady Forest. That's where I got the car parked at. The temptation to go that way is unbelievable. It's just beautiful. It's really, really nice. But we are heading on this track. I like this track. A bit further along, you can't really tell because it becomes like a typical grouse road across the moors. But here, it becomes a lot more like what it used to be. And there'll be parts where it's like indented, where the pack ponies have been going across it. When you walk it, you can really see how sunken the path is. I really like this part of the Carrier's Way. Makes you feel like you're walking in time. It's beautiful. Weather is definitely changing. It's getting a bit colder. It's starting to cloud over a bit there now. Starting to lose the blue skies which I had before. It's just going to be a cloudy mess there. There we go. Starting to focus a bit. And it's just basically I'm following this path back to the car. That'll be the end of my walk. To be honest, I have zero idea how many miles it was. I think it's just the right amount when you try to get back your fitness, I think. Obviously it's longer than what I was originally planning on doing, but yeah, it's quite good. Enjoyed it. A few more walks like this and we'll be back again in the hills doing walks properly again, proper hikes. But today was good, enjoyed it. So if you, I'm not going to do the like and comment and stuff like that, because basically this is an information video really more than anything else, just to tell you what was happening with the channel. Now you know. So hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. I still got a lot of editing to do, so likely you'll be going back in time a year from June 2021 will be the next Grand Tour episodes. The next one, as I said, I meet M's Adventure, so that'll be quite good. And then the following one after that, it's got some stunning scenery. It's so beautiful. Can't wait to edit this properly. But as I said, it's just finding the time to edit at the moment. It's just, I've only really got weekends, and I have so much on the weekend these days, because it's literally like my only days off. I've got like housework and all that sort of stuff to do. So by the time it gets to go out, it's just like I'm too knackered, you know. I'm just like working non-stop. Eventually it should settle down a bit. I should be able to get out more and get these videos edited. That's the main thing, is getting the videos edited. It's like, do I edit the video, or do I go out for a hike? Oh, it's a blue sky, I'll go out for a hike. So that's basically where we're at. So I'll catch you in the next one.